supported employment is paid work at minimum wage, 20 hours or less per week, an integrated setting, individual working, an individual with severe disabilities, ongoing support or extended services. Critical characteristics of supported employment. 1. Integration. 2. Wages and benefits. 3. Placement first. 4. Total inclusion. 0 reject, in parentheses. 5. Flexible support. 6. Lifelong support. And 7. Choices. Models of supported employment are individual jobs, apprenticeships, small enterprises, mobile work crews, or enclaves in industry. Phases of supported employment. Career planning, identification of desired outcomes that will enhance the quality of life for individual workers. Job development, identify good matches between the workers and the jobs and with outcomes identified in the career planning phase. Instruction, worker learns critical work and related skills of the work site. Ongoing support, assistance for as long as the worker needs it. Work settings offer 3 kinds of natural supports. Help in completing tasks, number 1. Number 2, learning new skills. 3, social interactions. Definition of integrated setting. The size of the work group remains at 8 or fewer, and an integrated setting is clarified by requiring job interaction with other employees, the majority of whom are mostly non-disabled, and other non-disabled persons, including members of the general public, if the person works alone or only with other employees with disabilities. In any case, job interaction is not fulfilled by personnel providing ongoing support services. Job skill training and other training may be provided from a variety of sources depending on appropriateness. This includes job coaches as well as other qualified individuals including core workers through natural support. Minimum work requirement. The 20-hour minimum work hour per week is deleted and replaced by the individual written rehabilitation plan, determined for each individual the appropriate minimum weekly number of hours. This would be monitored by the State Vocational Rehabilitation Agency, and transition to extended services shall not occur until the individual has substantially met the work goal. Eligibility. A requirement is added to the eligibility that the potential for SE, supported employment, be specifically considered in the assessment of employability or determine eligibility for voc rehab services under Title I. With the inclusion of supported employment as a possible vocational outcome. In effect, people with severe disabilities will now be considered for employment support through voc rehab in the same way as anyone else by adding supported employment as an acceptable outcome under Title I. Discrete post-transition service. Current regulations allow services for unanticipated intervention necessary to maintain job placement after transition to extended services, although it is unclear what funds may be used. Changes of discrete post-transition services. The regulations clarify that Title I, Title 6C, or Section 311 funds may use for discrete post-employment transitional services. Discrete post-employment services following transition. Reference as example are job station redesign, repair and maintenance of assistive technology, and replacement of prosthetic and orthonic devices. Ongoing services. The concept of ongoing support services is modified to permit support personnel to simply monitor supported employees twice per month and allow rehabilitation counselors to make exceptions regarding location of the monitoring if it is determined in the individual written rehabilitation plan to be in the best interest of the individual. If off-site monitoring is authorized, it must consist of 2 meetings with the supported employee and 1 employer contact per month. The 18-month limitation is amended to permit voc rehab to extend ongoing services on a case-by-case basis, as determined necessary in each person's individual written rehab plan. Further, a classification states that multiple placements may be provided during ongoing services, such as sheltered workshop and day activity extended employment. Okay. Transitional employment. The definition of transitional employment is responsibility for placements after the first one remains with voc rehab during the 18-month period of time-limited service, unless voc rehab grants an exception as deemed necessary and appropriate in the individual work rehab plan. Thereafter, responsibility is by extended services providers. Competence, defiance, hypothesis. The more competence an individual has, the more defiance will be tolerated in that person by others. An employment specialist should primarily be responsible for ensuring that 1. Paid employment is available to all workers. 2. Workers are trained in social and job skills. 3. Integration with persons who are not disabled occurs. 4. Services are coordinated across home, family, and others. 5. Work is maintained through stable, ongoing support. Choices are offered for different employment. Phases of supported employment. There are 4 phases. First phase, career planning, identification of desired outcomes that will enhance the quality of life for individual workers. Develop profile, social, actional quality of life outcomes. Job development, identify 2, job development, identify good matches between the workers and the jobs, and with the outcomes identified in the career planning phase. Instruction, worker learns critical work and related skills at a work site. Task analysis and job analysis is used in this area. And 4, ongoing support, assistance for as long as the worker needs it. Supported employment is not an outcome, it is a concept. Acceptable outcomes as the result of supported employment are, as determined by the consumer, parentheses, number 1, outcome of supported employment is self-esteem. Number 2, relationships with other people. Number 3, exercise of choice. Number 4, development of new skills. Number 5, community participation. Number 6, improved quality of life. And 7, wages and economic self-sufficiency. Functional analysis defined. Function analysis is the process of determining the relationship between events in a person's environment and the occurrence of specific behaviors. An effective functional analysis should allow you to predict when and where the behaviors of concern will be performed. Approaches to managing challenging behaviors. Traditional approaches. 1, focus on eliminating behaviors. 2, focus on the topography of problem behaviors. 3, rely on consequence manipulation, rewards and punishers. 4, differentiate between teaching and behavior management. Community reference approaches to managing challenging behaviors. Focus on teaching adaptive behaviors. Focus on functions of problem behaviors. Use comprehensive behavioral interventions. Emphasis on proactive approaches to managing challenging behaviors. Integration of teaching and behavior management. Okay, procedures and steps. Number 1, function analysis. Assess the environmental consequences that might maintain the targeted behaviors. Assess subject's desire for social attention, tangible rewards, escape from non-preferred events, and sensory feedback. 2, appropriate alternative communicative responses are selected to be functionally equivalent with the maladaptive behaviors. 3, subjects are taught communicative responses that result in the same environmental consequence that may be maintaining the behavior. Let's open mine here. Number 4, time. Delay prompting techniques should be used to fade trader prompts so that the timing of the responses will come directly under the control of the person rather than a response to the trader's prompts. 5, gradually introduce new trainers and increase task demands. Larger periods should exist before the person responses will be followed by appropriate environmental consequences. But this is all right above my head.
See it in your eyes. Be. Little Bear chuckled and said to his grandfather, "We had fun, didn't we? You are not tired. Are you, Grandfather?" "Oh, no," said Grandfather Bear. "A little cub like you and Grandfather like me, we never get tired, do we? Can we sing and dance and run and play all day and never get tired?" Little Bear smiled, but he was growing sleepier and sleepier. Grandfather Bear went on, "Yes, yes, yes. We can have many good times, you and I, but we never get tired. You are not tired, are you, Little Bear?" "Little Bear." Grandfather says, "Are you tired?" Beep. Little Bear was not tired. No, Little Bear was fast asleep. The end.